Hey, everybody. This is Dr. Gibbs, and today I want to address some questions that have come up about how my new practice, which is consultants and metabolism, works. So, first of all, let's talk about how it works. So, I am at this point still a very, very small practice. I have one part-time employee who works remote, and so she helps me answer emails and queries. But that right now is really about all she does. And so if you call, it's really likely that I will answer the phone myself if I'm available. And if you go online and put an inquiry on my website, it is very likely that I will be answering that inquiry myself. So how does this work? Well, I am a comprehensive hormone management and hormone balancing practice. My zone of extreme specialty and knowledge is particularly thyroid and Hashimoto's disease, but I also treat menopause and perimenopausal problems, male hormone imbalances, PCOS, other hormone imbalances like bone health, vitamin D, and the like that. So I also will treat people for metabolic disease like insulin resistance. So in order to do that, and because all of these hormones exist in a continuum and all affect one another, it is not generally a simple 15 to 20-minute visit. It is generally a very comprehensive process. And so this is how it works. So when you first ask for an appointment with me, you will get a pretty comprehensive initial questionnaire. And if after reading and working with the questions that you answer in your questionnaire, if I feel like I'm not the best person to help you with your problem, I'm going to be right up front and I'm going to tell you that. So you don't have to worry about spending money to find out that I can't actually help you. So the next thing I'm going to do after I go over your questionnaire and the other medical records is I am going to set you up with a comprehensive package of appointments and lab tests. And the initial price for that comprehensive package is based on what I feel like is a reasonable rate for my time and expertise, and then a reasonable number of hours to accomplish all that needs to happen to, first of all, get your problems delineated and clear in my mind, to get the testing ordered, to get the testing results back, and then to go over those and develop a comprehensive treatment plan, which includes educating you on the options that you have and the reason why I am recommending those options. So that process is all wrapped up in one comprehensive cash price. And then ongoing care is also a cash price, and it is also based on my time and expertise. So it's very, very simple. The initial fee that you pay is kind of like a retainer. And it is, in fact, once you decide to work with me, it is non-refundable, but I'm happy to have a call with you so that we can go over some of your concerns to make sure that it's the right fit, that my practice is the right fit for you before you make the decision to work with me. After that, if it turns out your problems are a lot simpler than what I initially thought it was going to be, and it takes a lot less time to work things up for you than I initially thought, then you have credit left over for the ongoing care, and that can be applied to your next and future visits. So let's talk a little bit about what I offer. So I work with prescription hormones. sometimes prescription pharmaceutical drugs, very, very frequently with non-prescription supplements, including glandulars and probiotics and vitamins and minerals and things that really are not easily available in our diet. But I also do work with people on what the right foods to eat are, what the right level of activity for them may be. And then if you need more detailed and comprehensive counseling or coaching in those regards or other treatment modalities that I don't offer, then we get those for you. Now, I do expect each person that works with me to have a primary care doctor to do their normal health maintenance and surveillance things like colonoscopies, for example, or mammograms, for example. I think those are super, super important. And I really do expect that I am not your primary care physician. I'm not going to order those things for you, and that you need to have enough investment personally in your own care that you're going to pay attention to those health maintenance type things. All right. So in the program that I offer, I get lots of questions, and I've had people say to me some of their concerns. And one of those is, your program's too complicated for me. Well, it is complicated. That's one of the reasons why the insurance model just doesn't work for this kind of care. It's also very time consuming because it is designed specifically for your health needs. Hormones do not each exist in isolation. They interact with one another, with your metabolism, with your immune system, with your level of activity, your habits, with what you eat, and even the bacterial contents of your GI tract. So it takes sometimes repeated testing and fiddling with the levels of hormones because there's just no other way to see what intervention is helping. We can only really change one thing at a time, at least after we've started into the initial basic things that it seems like you may need. It takes a lot of personal attention because you may not respond the way everyone else does to any given treatment. We change things one step at a time because that really, darn it. Okay, so sometimes people have concerns when they come to me to talk about my program, and they say, well, your program is too complicated. And truthfully, it is complicated. And that's one of the reasons the insurance model just doesn't work for this. It's also a bit time consuming because it's designed specifically for your health needs. So hormones don't each exist in isolation. They interact with one another, with your metabolism, with your immune system, with your level of activity, with your habits, with what you eat, with the bacterial contents of your GI tract even. It takes sometimes repeated testing because there's just no other way to see whether an intervention is helping or not. And it takes personal attention because you may not respond the way everyone else does to any given treatment. I also have you change one thing at a time because that's the only way to really know what intervention is working. So we repeat the testing and sometimes even add tests that are not covered by insurance at some point until you're feeling your best possible self. And we take into account your individual needs and your individual risks. It's a process. And I do want to be very upfront about my methods and the commitment that's needed to make this hormone balancing thing work to get you to your healthiest self. If I think you need something I can't provide personally, I'm also going to recommend or help you find that, whatever it may be.